Well, what you see here is the game layout of my game. I'll start with the programming behind the title screen. To make the title screen, I first had to upload the sprites I'm going to use for it. I created a room called Menu, went to Backgrounds, uploaded the background I was going to use, and since it was a moving background where the stars would move to the left, I made it with a horizontal speed of -1. The foreground image, which is basically this guy holding the world over here, is stationary, so it's set to a horizontal speed of 0. This is the play button. It's an object that was placed onto this room. When it's left clicked, it goes to the next room, which is the gender selection room. When the mouse just hovers over it, it'll start glowing around the edges. I actually created a sprite for that. It'll turn into this sprite. But when the mouse leaves, it'll go back to the non-glowing sprite it was before. Now moving on to the next section, next room, is the gender selection room that the play button goes to. As seen here, the gender selection room from here to here. This is a little more complicated. What I wanted the objects to do was move up and down, so just hover up and down. This was done first by making these invisible objects. They're not visible, they're just solid. They won't show up in the actual game. So these are the two objects for these sprites you see here. When the sprite is created, it will start moving in the direction upwards with a speed of 0.7. So this will start moving there. But when it collides with the black thing, this is called black object, it'll reverse its vertical direction and go back down. So it'll go down here and go back. It'll just keep on rebounding forever. Same happens here. And the same concept with the play button. When the mouse is left clicked, it'll go to the next room, which is the levels room. When the mouse enters the area of the sprite, it'll change the sprite into a glowy figure with edges. When it leaves, it'll go back to the sprite that you see here. I also made a back button. Basically, when the back button is clicked, it'll go back to the room, to the title page room, and that's where it can go back here when you click the play button again.